Hello friends, I Dr. Archana Mahakakar from Government Institute of Forensic Science Nagpur going to introduce a course that is Forensic Anthropology. Friends, this course is for the life science student, for the forensic science student and for anyone those who are interested in forensic anthropology. This course basically consists of 5 modules. Module 1 consists of introduction and history. Module 2 consists of bones or not. If at the crime scene we'll get the bones fragment, then we have to identify whether it is bone or something else. Module 3 consists of whether the bones are old or new. Module 4 consists of sex determination from the skeletal remains, and Module 5 consists of age determination from the skeletal remains. So what you will able to learn after completion of this course? So you will get the skill like identification of bones or not, old or new bones. You can able to determine the sex from the skeletal remains. You can able to determine the age from the skeletal remains. So we'll start with the first module, that is introduction and history. So we'll first see the definition of forensic anthropology. It is the field of study that deals with the analysis of human skeletal remains resulting from unexplained deaths. It is often done in legal contexts. It is an applied science. Now we'll see which are the 5 subdisciplines of anthropology. Number 1 is the biological or physical anthropology. Now, forensic anthropology is a relatively subfield of within biological anthropology. Now, what is archaeology? It is the study of human history and prehistory through the excavation of sites and the analysis of artifacts and other physical remains. Now, what about the cultural anthropology? It is the branch of anthropology that concerned with the study of human societies, their cultures and development. Now what about the linguistic? It is also the branch of anthropology and is the interdisciplinary study of how languages influences social life. And the 5th one, that is applied anthropology, is the application of the methods and the theory of anthropology to the analysis and solution of practical problems. Now the development of forensic anthropology is divided into 3 periods. The first period is the formative period, second one is the consolidation period, and third is the modern period. You can see the respective years of each period and what the scientists done in these periods. Now, the origin of forensic anthropology is said to be lie within the twisted tale of Bachman murder in 1949. You can read this famous story in any forensic anthropology book. Later on, the first practitioner of the applied study of forensic anthropology was said to be Thomas Twitt, and he was said to be the father of forensic anthropology because he was one of the first Americans to discuss how to identify the skeletal remains of humans. Then George Dorsey, he is the curator of the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago, and he used to give lectures on forensic anthropology. H. Wilder was a contemporary of George Dorsey, whose most notable contribution is into the forensic anthropology for the personal identification. His main focus was on the dermatographics, means fingerprint analysis, and facial reconstruction by using skull. Later on, another contribution by the Paul Stevenson, who gives 2 important publications in the age determination based on the epiphyseal union and the stature estimation by using long bones in the Chinese population. Later on, Alice Hrdlicka and Ernst Hutton, they both were investigated the skeletal identification during World War II. Then W.M. Krogman, the revival of forensic anthropology, he has published his guide for the identification of human skeleton in FBI Law Enforcement Bulletin. Now the maximum utilization of his guide was in connection with the US Army's program of identifying the skeletal death from World War II for the repatriation and reburial. And then Trotter and Glazers, they derived very important formula for the stature estimation and published that in 1952, which was used mainly in the American dead in Korean War. Dear friends, we'll see now what is the role of forensic anthropologists now. Now, which are the methods by means of which the human remains has been recovered? So, with the help of cadaver dogs or the remote sensing methods, we can recover the human remains. So, that is the another part in which we can study the details of it. Now, the forensic anthropologists they have to determine the time of the death, what is the cause of death from the soft tissues or the muscle present around the bone. Now, during the time of examination, which are the different questions that is asked by investigating officers? They are whatever the skeletal remains, if it is get complete, then no doubt it is human skeleton. By microscopic by gross examination you can identify it, but if they are fragments we have to use the microscopic examination. So we have to first identify whether the bones or not, whether they bones, if they are bones, whether they are human or not. If they are human, whether it is of male or female, are they of one individual or more than one individual, what is the stature of the person, what is the age of the person, what is the time of death, whether they are cut, sawn, gone by animals or burnt, and what may be the cause of death. All these are the questions that is asked by investigating officer. So friends, here we have completed the introduction and history. Now what we learned in this module, the definition of forensic anthropology, the sub disciplines, that is the biological and applied anthropology, cultural anthropology, linguistic anthropology. Okay. Then formative, consolidation, and the modern period in history. What are the two methods of recovery of human remains? And the question arising during examination of skeletal remains. Towards my left hand side you can see the picture of a skeleton, and actually that is the workshop arranged for the undergraduate students by the MSc students. And thank you for today.